Bipolar Female, Episode 29, Sign In to Get Out. Niece, after my day in hospital court and the brief time they let me walk around the grounds, they brought me to an area I recognized. It was brightly lit, as most places in the hospital were. There was one big room with a couple of people standing or sitting in limbo. I realized it was the first place I was brought when I was first admitted to the hospital. A nurse brought me into a room that looked more like an office and told me to sit at a desk. She came back and placed a piece of paper in front of me and handed me a pen. She said, "You must sign yourself into the hospital in order to be released." It was then that I remembered arriving at the hospital and being in the exact same situation. Maybe the nurse at that time tried to explain the process to me. I couldn't remember, and it was quite possible I just didn't listen. It made no sense to me. How did signing myself into the hospital lead to my signing out? It was then that I understood part of the push to have me committed. As long as I never signed myself in, they could proceed with the process of having me committed. Having escaped that fate, they had to explain things to me again. Luckily, I was in a place where I could understand what was being said to me and make the right decision. I signed the paper and handed it to the nurse. She left me in the office alone for a bit while she processed my paperwork. As I waited for her to return, I thought of my first week at Harvard when I had just discovered Lamont. There was a room on the top floor where I could go and close the door. No one ever realized that I was in there, so no one ever bothered me. The chair was hard and stiff like the chair in the room at the hospital. The table at Lamont was dark and solid, like it could hold all of my weight, and then some, if I decided to stand on top of it. I spread my books out over it, leaving ample space for my notebooks so I could take notes, and my laptop so I could surf the internet when I needed a break from studying. But as I sat in the small library-like room in the girl-interrupted hospital, I knew there were no other students waiting downstairs to retrieve books for me. There were no classes to prepare for, there were no papers to write, no upcoming tests, no lectures, no office hours, no dorm. There was only the hospital. I waited to walk into the ward and accept my new status as a mentally ill person. I never wanted to accept that status. That was the real reason I never signed myself in. It was the end of my life as I'd always known it and the beginning of a life I never wanted. The nurse came back into the room and ushered me out of limbo, and officially into the world which was my new normal. I decided to make the best of it because I realized that if I did not accept the situation I was in, I would never get out of it. Being in a mental hospital was a long way from being a freshman at Harvard. I'd fallen from the highest point in my life to the lowest point in my life, really, in one day. I'd lost everything I'd worked for in about 48 hours, or so I thought at the time. But that turned out not to be true. My foundation was built, and I could get back on track. The path was rockier, but it led to the same place: graduation and ultimately mental stability. In the moment I officially signed myself into the hospital, I did not know when I would be released, but I knew it was an option. In my previous state, not having signed myself in, leaving the hospital wasn't even on the table. I had to walk through the door of acceptance to walk out of the door into freedom. Until next time, this is your Aunt Sia saying, stay strong, stay healthy, and know that you are loved.
We can learn together, we can grow forever.
Hey, it's the best kept secret.
We can learn together, we can grow forever. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. Let me tell understand how I live, what I think, what I love, what I am. Black bipolar female. Yes, ma'am. Many questions you could ask. What I don't know, I will pass. I will help you understand all the ups, all the downs, all the smiles, all the frowns, all the whys, all the hows. Walk the journey with me. The road is full of wows. We can learn together. We can grow forever. We can learn together. We can grow forever.